hello student, I am P.S. Patil, lecturer at Sri Neminath Jain Higher Secondary School, Chandwad, district Nasik. Now, the today's topic is soil formation and development of the soil. Means how soil may be formed and it should be developed. So the soil formation and the development. Now the first is we are seeing the definition of the soil, that is it is the thin layer of earth crust which serve as a natural medium for the growth of the plant is known as soil. Means the soil that should be formed naturally by the acting of the various natural agencies on the natural parents material, and lastly or finally the true soil that should be formed, and this soil is a natural medium for the growth of the plants is known as soil. Now the second definition is soil profile. Soil profile means it is the vertical cross section of the soil that should be shows the various layer which is called as a soil profile. Next, that is the soil formation and the development. Soil is a natural body. Now we are seeing first, soil is a natural body that should not be prepared by artificial. It is a natural body and that should be developed by the natural force that should be acting on the natural material, and last one is the true soil may be formed. Soil, it is a complex body. Soil is a complex body and that should be showing a great many variation from the various type of the soil in case of the depth as well as color and the composition. Means all type of the soil having no similar in the depth as well as color and as well as composition. In some areas the soil having showing the various depth that should be showing the other colors and the composition. It should be various type of the soil that should be formed into the various region. For example, in Konkan region as well as in North region, in Maharashtra, the soil may be differ from each other in particularly in case of depth as well as color and the composition of the soil in Konkan areas as well as in North Maharashtra area. But the all type of the soil having the common five things, that is the hard material, mineral matter, spongy organic matter, water, air and the living organism. These are the five things that should be observed in all type of the soils. Means hard material, mineral matter, spongy organic matters, water, air and the living organism. These are the 5 common things that should be observed in all type of the soil. Their proportion may be vary. The proportion of these 5 things may be vary, but these are present in all type of the soil. Soil having the primarily developed by the weathering of the different types of the rock, which is called as a parent material of the soil. Means soils that should be formed by the weathering of the rock, and this rock is called as a parent material of the soil. By the weathering process, broadly these are the 3 types of the rock, such as igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and the metamorphic rock. The soil formation, that is the rock, which is also called as parent material, and the process that should be weathering. These are 2 types of the weathering, that is physical weathering as well as chemical weathering. After weathering on the rocks, the parent material should be formed, and this parent material by the soil forming factors, various type of the soil forming factors acting on the parent material, and finally true soil may be formed, and this true soil is a natural medium for the growth of the plants. So in this way, in short, this soil that should be formed means the rock may be formed by the weathering process, and finally the true soils that should be formed. Soil formation is the process of transformation of rocks and minerals into the soil. Soil is formed by the weathering of the rocks. There are 2 types of the weathering, that is physical weathering as well as chemical weathering. Now the first one is physical weathering. What is meant by physical weathering, or the definition of the physical weathering is that physical weathering is also called as a disintegration of the rocks, and it is the mechanical process, and in this process the rocks may be broken down into the small pieces, then it should be integrated slowly and break up into the small pieces without by corresponding of the chemical nature of the rock, which is known as the physical weathering, or it is also called as a mechanical weathering. The main principal agent of the physical weathering is temperature and water, is the 2 most important agent of the physical weathering. In the physical weathering, that should be not without any corresponding the chemical nature in the rocks as well as in this side. Heating and cooling as well as wetting and drying tends to weaken the rocks. Heating as well as cooling and the wetting and drying, that should be tends to weaken the rocks, so that the rocks disintegrate and decay. At the daytime or during the day, the rocks get heated by the sunlight. By sunlight at the daytime, these rocks may be heated and expand, and at the night time the temperature that should be fall down. At that times the rocks get cooled and contract. In this way, the same process that should be done in every day, so that the rocks that should be weakened down and it should be broken into the small pieces without corresponding or without corresponding the chemical nature of this particular of the rocks. That should be known as physical weathering. Means in the physical weathering there is no chemical changes. Chemical weathering, it is also called as a decomposition. Just physical weathering is called as disintegration, while physical weathering is also called as a decomposition of the rocks. In chemical process, chemical decomposition is responsible for changing the nature of the parent material or the rock. Means in this process, the chemical nature that should be changes into the rock and the minerals. The various principle, for example, just like the temperature and the water are the two main principal agent of the physical weathering, such like that the various chemical agents that should be responsible for the chemical weathering, and that is the solution, hydration, hydrolysis, oxidation, reduction and carbonation. These are the chemical reagent that should be responsible for the chemical weathering of the rocks. Now the first, we are seeing the first agent, that is the solution. Water is a universal solvent solution that should be help in continuous removal of the weather material, and that should be form a solution. These are the first principal agent. Second one is hydration. Hydration means the chemical combination of water molecules with minerals to form a new minerals. Third one is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis is one of the most important process in the chemical weathering and result in complete disintegration of the primary minerals. The next principal agent, that is the oxidation. Oxidation is an important chemical reaction occurring in well aerated rocks and soil material where oxygen supply is more. Reduction is occur where the material is water saturated, such as below the water table, oxygen supply may be low and biological demand is high. Last one is, that is the carbonation. Carbonic acid is a weak acid and it is important in the chemical weathering of the rocks and minerals, which makes mineral more soluble. So these are the chemical agent that should be responsible for the chemical weathering of the rocks, that is solution, hydration, hydrolysis, oxidation, reduction and the carbonation. So in this way, the soil that should be formed by the weathering process, that is physical and the chemical weathering, various type of the agents of the physical as well as chemical agent we are seeing. The next point of the soil, that is the types of the soil. According to the particle size of the soil is broadly divided into the four groups, that is sandy soil having the particle size more than 0.2 millimeters. The second types of the soil, that is the gritty soil having the soil particle size that should be 0.2 to 0.02 millimeters. Loam soil, the particle size that should be 0.02 to 0.02 millimeters, and the fourth one is, that is the clay soil having the particle size less than 0.002 millimeters. So these are the broad, according to the soil particles size, the soil that should be divided into the four groups: sandy soil, gritty soil, loam soil and the clay soil. The next one is soil water. Soil water is held around the soil particles. The water that should be held around the soil particles, which is known as soil water, and that should be moved from higher potential to the lower potential. Means soil water means it is the water that should be present on the soil particles, and these soil water that should be moved from the higher potential to the lower potential. Soil water that should be moderate the soil temperature. The most important function of the soil water is that to moderate the soil temperature, nutrient availability and the mobility as well as mineralization and increase with the soil waters. Water is present in the soil into the various different forms. That is the free water. The first types of the water that is observed in the soil is free water. It is present in between the space of soil particles and it can be separated from the soil particles by the filtration process. Means the free waters that should be separated from the soil with the help of filtration process. The second one is bound water. It is present in bound water over the surface of the soil particles. All types of the water that should be observed into the soil particles. Hygroscopic water. It is present in layer of the bound water and that is useful for the growth of the crops as well as plants. Water is held highly to the surface of the soil, hence it is unavailable to the any biological activities that should be take place into the soil. The next one is gravitational water. This type of the water is attracted downward by the gravitational force of the earth and it is not useful for the growth of the crops as well as plants. Water vapor, due to the water in the soil that should be evaporated and which is converted into the vapor forms by sunlight. Capillary water, it is present over the layer of the hygroscopic water and it is useful for the growth of the crop and plants. They absorb this water by the capillary force. The soil which is rich in organic matter that should be contain greater quantity of the capillary waters. So these are the various type of the water that should be present into this soil. Next one is phase of the soil or the constitution of the soil. All these constituent is present in all type of the soils, but its percentage should be varies from soil to soil. The percentage of this particular constitution or the phase of the soil that should be differ from the soil to soils, means in the various region the constituents of this particular region type of the soil and the other region soil having the many variation, but it should be observed in all types of the soil. The first phase of the soil, that is the solid phase, it consists of organic matter, clay loams and the sands. Second one is liquid phase. It is consist of water in the soil and soil particles dissolved in them. Gaseous phase, it consists of air and water vapor present in between soil particles. And the living phase, it is consist of micro as well as macro living organism such as earthworm, insect, bacteria and fungus. These are present, these are the living phase that should be observed into the soil.